We've been throwing numbers around, haven't we, Nicky? You look at someone like Nicolo Barella. How much do you think it would take for someone like Liverpool to actually get him?
I just want to come back quickly and say, actually, when you're describing that player who can run 60 yards and still go past someone, that's Theo Hernandez, and that's why he's harder to get. Obviously, that's Milan, not Juventus. But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting way of framing it, because I do think Theo is that guy.
And actually, it actually makes sense, because they want 100 million for him.
Yes.
So we better be able to do that for 100 mil.
Yeah. And it might be a similar price for Barella, honestly. I've seen there was some reports a few weeks ago about Liverpool trying to get Barella for 50 million euros. Not a chance for 50 million euros, even with Inter's sort of financial position. I think he's going to be a lot close, probably not all the way to 100, but I think if Tonali's market is 80 million euros, then yes, he's younger than Barella, but I think Barella has shown more in terms of his ability to command a game, to carry a team. I think his performances for Inter this season, and obviously in the Champions League, but domestically at times as well, will really sort of stand out. He's one of those real force of nature players to me on the pitch, one of those players who tends to set a tone that a whole team reacts to, and that can be in good and bad, because Barella is also someone who will absolutely roast his teammates sometimes when he thinks they're not giving as much as he's giving. But I think it's going to be a much tougher deal for him. Inter very much sort of look at him as one of the pieces that they most want to keep hold of. They know they're going to lose some pieces, but I think the Italian spine, Barella, Di Marco obviously at wing back, and then Bastoni in defence, that's kind of what they want to keep together and build around as much as they can. So yeah, I see this one as a hard deal. That's not an impossible deal, because money always talks in the end, but I do think this is going to be a lot harder to get across the line.
He'd be great.
Yeah.
He'd be great for Liverpool. Absolutely. Talk about fitting the profile of Liverpool at their best in the middle of the park, harrying people down, getting the ball and getting the front three. He would be fantastic.
You asked a question about Sandro Tonali. Would he make Newcastle better? There's no question that no matter what team Nicolo Barella ends up in, he's going to make that team better. I really think this is one of the premier midfielders in the world right now, Nicolo Barella, and the personality, the presence, and the talent that he brings to any club is going to make that club better, is going to make that team better.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.